Hi, come on in. Welcome to day treatment. This is St. Cloud Day Treatment. You'll see I have my mask on. You'll see that, things look a little bit different, and what we do here has needed to change to be a little bit different too. This days of COVID have made us all have to be very resilient and kind of reimagine what we do. Here in the yellow building, it's the elementary building, but we have accommodated it for our oldest group because of COVID, because we have much more space here. We have 3 groups. We have an elementary group that is roughly up till about 5th, 6th grade, depending upon their development. We have a middle school group that is next door in the gray building that I'll introduce you to in a little while, and then we have the high school group that we have moved into this building because, like I said, we have more space. We also do all the administration out of this building. We generally try to have about 24 kids. Sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down, but that's kind of what we're budgeted for fewer than that. But we have to have more than that because of attendance. All kids come here in the morning. We have morning only services. That is a shift from last year. It's due to COVID. And what we're finding is that the districts that we work with appreciate that because then they can schedule the education around that. We probably, almost every kid comes from another school. So we're working with 24 different schools in about 8 different school districts and transportation. To get here and back is medical transport, but we also have to work with school transportation because when school's in session, they go out to school from here. It's been very, very difficult because we're working with 8 districts that do different things. Some kids go Tuesday, Thursday to school. Sometimes they're all distance learning. Sometimes they're on site, and to keep track of that and to know when we provide transportation and when transportation is provided by the district we've had spreadsheets and spreadsheets and spreadsheets to try to keep track of that. So we wanted to introduce you to some very important people. It is the program committee for Catholic Charities Board, and every once in a while they come and visit to kind of see what we're doing here. So I wanted to come to each of you guys and see if you could kind of give me a little bit of idea, them a little bit of idea, kind of why you come here and what you like, and maybe anything that you think that they might want to know about. This is, of course, our high schooler group. Does anybody have anything they want to say or want to share, or they think these folks might want to know about what you guys do every day?
Everybody let them know.
What kinds of things do you do here?
Do stuff that works and help us better ourselves, and help us be able to manage how we are, how our actions and our feelings.
Better manage your actions and your feelings?
I'd say we can learn more skills here, because so far when I was here before, I learned a lot of skills that helped me move on, and I'm hoping to learn more.
Okay. Do you do any fun things here?
Oh yeah.
No. No.
So can you learn and have fun at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tease you and we can have fun at the same time?
Sure.
Show you around down here and we'll talk about it a little bit. Kids just went out, I see. We'll talk about our backyard. I'm going to have the kids talk to you a little bit about this. One of the things that we really talk about is emotional control. And we use the zones. And I'm going to ask the elementaries to explain that to you a little later when they come. So I want to talk a little bit about the backyard. This backyard has been the scene of life-size Jack-in-the-Box, birthday parties, the Olympics several times. almost a life-size Candyland, almost everything you can imagine. On pre-COVID days, and we're working into it, at least once a week we would get the whole group together, all three of the groups, to really do some mentoring and also to really create that sense of belonging and belonging to something bigger than who you are and feeling the support across the program instead of just your little group. So you can see the kids are out sledding right now. Try to get the kids out as much as possible. There's skills involved even in sledding, and the teaching never stops no matter what the activity is. Here we do a garden, and the kids help with that garden from weeding to planting to picking the produce to selling the produce at an annual sale that we do for emergency services. So it's those, we try to keep the kids really active inside, outside, and doing a whole lot of things, hoping we can capture something that interests every kid. Ask you guys some things. So, who can tell me about what that jar thing is all about? And you know what? I'm gonna have Mark call on people because he knows you guys better.
Yeah, well, this is really difficult. Typically, we have a couple of kids that really know. These guys all know it.
Do they?
It's going to be a really tough problem, but I'm going to let Emily have the first crack at it.
So if an adult sees us helping someone, just being kind, they might give us some Bible, and sometimes if you are patient and you raise your hand, they might give you a Bible, and then at the end of the day, it goes up there.
Very good. Thank you, Miss Emily. Yes, Mr. Mike?
I just had a question, and I was wondering if adults give you marbles, or do you earn the marbles? Landon?
Earn.
You earn them, right? The adults don't just give them to you, you earn them.
Very good. I would like Sean to partner with what Emily said. Did you think of anything, Sean, that Emily might have missed? No? Okay, anybody else think of anything that Emily might have missed? Anyone else? Yes, Michelle?
I have another question. What do you do with the marbles?
Oh. Ellen?
You get to reward with it, like pizza party, ice cream party, anything party.
Well said.
All right. So I have another question. And I know that April, you guys went through this already. But can you talk a little bit, who can tell me a little bit about what the zones of regulation are? And go ahead, Mark. You can.
Yes. Sean?
The zone board is like if you're in a green zone, you're like happy or ready to burn. Blue zone, you're like bored or something or tired. Yellow zone, hyper or getting a little angry. Then red is very angry. And then repair zone is where you have to work it out with your peers.
So, what do I do when I get to the yellow zone? Do I just go, well, yeah, I'm starting to get angry. Oh, well, let's move into the red.
Sean?
No, you're supposed to ask the staff or Mark or Mike or anyone that's live and ask if you could take a trampoline break, bounce the ball break, or dugout break.
Okay, here's my hardest question about this. Why is it important that we do the repair zone?
Oh, boy. Who wants to handle that one? Leo?
So then, payback.
Yep, why do we do that? You know why?
So then, we can tell how, we feel, like, when you did that, like, when, pretend I was going to charity, Landon was like, I didn't like that, but I'm done.
So you're using it to share your feelings on how it made you feel? Okay, anybody else want to add to that? You know, I gotta be honest, Board and Michelle, we haven't had to do our repairs all lately because the kids have been doing so well.
That's great.
So this group of kids, you know, hasn't had a lot of practice in it, but Leo's had some, and so he kind of knows about that.
Does anybody remember when I messed up and I did the repair with you guys? Yeah, we all remember that. I told you why it was important for me to do it. Do you remember why it was important for me to do that?
Who remembers why Michelle had to do that? Anybody? Leo?
So then, she can be like, I'm sorry, I missed you guys, I was doing something, please don't get mad at me.
Okay, well, that's really good. There's another, a big thing, but it's a small word, but it's really, really important. Anybody? I like writing on the board. So it's 5 letters. You gotta guess?
Anger?
No. Why would I, it's a good thought, but why would it be important for me to take care of my business with you guys? It starts with the T, and it ends with the T, and it's not tree.
Pull.
Tomorrow you gotta guess. What?
Trust.
Exactly. This is where you get, don't you hate when somebody says, I don't trust you?
Yes.
And don't you want to do something to earn some trust back? And that was really important to me, is that I knew how to take care of things so that I could start. Just saying I'm sorry, it's not like, okay, I trust you again. And so I could start earning trust back. All right, so your group is doing fantastic. What does the zones have to do with emotion control?
Big words, emotion control. You know what emotion control means? When you're getting off, when you know you're not doing well, you're getting a little off, you're touching the yellow zone. Yeah, John, want to give it a shot?
Because they were the same feelings and if you, if that broke, then we had that, say red zone and stuff.
So what you're saying is that's kind of like if I go up to the sandbox and I have a shovel and I have a pail, I have different tools so I can still play in the sandbox. So the zones is like a tool so I can control my emotions, and the emotion control from the movie out there is also a tool so I can, is that what you're saying? Aha, that makes sense to me. So is there any other thing, I want you guys to get the snack, is there any other thing that you think it would be important for people to know about who you are, what you do? Anything? I want to give you a chance to just be me telling them about us. What should they know about us? Don?
I'll tell them that I go, let's tell them my school that I go to.
You sure can.
I go to Pinewood Elementary in Monticello.
All right, so he comes a long way to be here every day. I come from Becker. And he comes from Becker, so some of these kids come a long way every day. I bet you all want to share where you come from, right? Okay.
You know, we really work hard at relationships. We're very relationship-based here. And we follow 3 philosophies, with the zones of regulation being a big piece of one of them. We do the Y-Chart curriculum, and we also follow the circle of courage. And it's all relationship-based, and these kids work so hard, and especially through the pandemic, that we're super proud of them, and they all know that if they have a bad day, we're going to keep them safe and take really good care of them, and they help each other more often than not, and it's just a wonderful group of kids and a great place to work. So thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
How you guys are doing, what you're thinking, what we're all about. I see that you guys are starting beads.
Hemp necklaces.
Hemp necklaces, oh, fun.
First day, we're doing desire,
First.
time, and effort, part of the Y-Tri curriculum, and everybody wants to make, they saw a variety of different hemp necklaces, and everybody wants to make one. It's something they desire, so they really gotta take their time and put some effort into it.
And this is Phyllis, she's a mental health, one of the mental health practitioner for the A1 group. So what can you guys tell me about desire, time, and effort?
You have to like put your time and effort if you want it to turn out good. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, it'll go fast, it'll be done quick. And then when you do it fast, then it'll be screwed up probably.
But what if I'm a really, really, really busy ADHD kid and I wanna go 100 miles an hour because,
You gotta design your time if you want it to look good and bad.
okay. All right.
If you have the desire to get it done right, you have the time and effort to calm yourself down, that way you can go slower and not mess it up and be able to learn it.
Very, wow.
Now, what if I have a lot of energy and I'm going really fast because I learned things like this with my hands really, really fast, and I'm doing a really awesome, just learning the first time and I'm whipping through it, and now, then what can I do?
Then you still want to slow it down a little bit, so you're not going as fast, because there's still a margin for error that you could still mess it up and screw it up.
But what if you're pretty confident like Wyatt and then he gets done with his, then what does he usually do?
He usually makes another.
Oh no, what does he usually do? What do you usually do, Wyatt?
Oh, wait.
You go around and help other people, don't you? Yeah.
Very nice. So I'm gonna let you guys just think for a second. What do you think it's important that people know about who we are and what we do? If you could tell them anything so they kind of understood, what would you say? Phyllis, I'm gonna let you call in
I'm gonna
because you know
have
them
Brody
better.
share. Brody's really, he's one of our newer students, but he's really just jumped right into programming and bought the whole package.
Okay.
So we usually do skills group and what's that group called? Therapy group, and there's therapists here that we go to see every week, once a week, and we talk about what's going on. It's fun here because you get to do stuff, but you're also learning what you need to do and why you're here. It's kind of hard, but you can't just sit here and do nothing because the world can tell you have to do work.
You actually have to put some desire, time, and effort in?
Yeah.
Can you just jump around and be silly Willy?
No,
Why not?
that's not allowed here.
Why not?
That's not what we're here for.
Is it just a dumb rule, or?
No, it's for the safety of others and for
Oh.
people to get help.
Okay, but you know what, sometimes you can jump around and be silly because I do it, and we do that in the backyard, and we're gonna be doing a lot more of it. Will you do it with me?
Yeah, but it's not, there's always a time and place for everything.
Yes.
on.
You're absolutely right. And sometimes when you're my age, you still have to remember there's a time and place for it, right, fellas?
Oh, absolutely.
Very nice. Is there anything else?
Sam, did you want to add to it?
Yeah. At first coming here, you may seem nervous, but the staff here are really nice, and all they want is for you to get help. That way you don't have problems. They want you to be able to ask for help. If anything, they want to be helpful. It's they're so nice, and you may think it's gonna be scary, but it's when you really get to know the staff, it's really not. They're actually really nice and sometimes crack jokes. I'm not gonna name names, Phyllis. Yeah. So,
Can you have a bad day, though?
yeah, you can have bad days, and that's okay.
What if you have a bad group? Does that wreck your whole day?
No,
Did you have a bad morning starting out this morning?
I did, and I'm willing to make an effort to change it.
And have you done that?
Yeah, I've always tried.
Absolutely.
And if you have a bad day, don't let it wreck your whole day, and just calm down and think, well, I may have had a bad morning, but I can still change. There's still time left in the day to change.
I could sit here forever.
Roadster, what do you got?
Okay. Well, I won't interrupt you a whole lot more. You guys gave me them a really, really good snapshot of what we do and how we do things, and I really, you guys were wonderful. You did a really, really nice job. I could not have asked you to do better. That's kind of us and who we are and what we do. Time for question and answers, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thanks for stopping by.